I'm back for a Saturday vibe, and today's vibe is subtle power play. So the setting is work, have to go to work, but then following work, there is an after work dinner where important people are present, and I need to make sure that I make the right connections. I get my point across. So that I can help things in the future go better for me. And so the hope is that because I am confident in myself and know what I'm talking about, that I can subtly have a power play for my career. I actually had a situation like this come up recently, and it made me realize that it would be a good vibe to do for a Saturday. So with that, I am dressed a little bit more professional than I normally would be, because the vibe is a work vibe. And to set the tone, I think I'm going to start with my beverage, and I have a Mingle mocktail. I always do no alcohol beverages because I am filming in the morning, and also just because, I don't know, I think it's fun to explore interesting drinks that aren't alcohol related. So today is Mingle and Raspberry. It's a Cranberry Cosmo. So Mingle is a woman-owned brand that make a variety of non-alcoholic cocktails. That it's vegan, gluten-free, kosher. You can either mix it with alcohol or drink it alone. It doesn't have any alcohol itself. It's got clean ingredients and no mind-altering additives. The ingredients are carbonated water, organic cane sugar, cranberry juice concentrate, orange juice concentrate, natural flavor, key lime juice concentrate, and citric acid. So the can is 12 ounces, and it says that it is 2 servings. So it is 30 calories a serving, or 60 for the can. Again, this is what it looks like, pink Cosmo. I have my wine glass here with some ice in it. Since it is a carbonated beverage, I prefer to drink that with ice. It is lightly pink. You can't really tell in the glass because the glass is slightly purple. But let's see how it tastes. Oh, it is light and refreshing. Definitely cranberry, definitely lime. I don't know that I taste the orange so much. And it is clearly like a spritzer. So it is all of those things lightly, but I think in part because both cranberry and lime have a lot of punch to them, there is a fair amount of flavor, even though it is light and refreshing. It doesn't taste overly complex or interesting, but it does taste like a cocktail and not just like a glass of juice or a glass of sparkling water. So it is more complex than that, but it's not as complex as some of the other mocktails that I have tried that have different like herbs or notes to them. This is kind of a one note kind of a thing, but it is good and refreshing. And this is something that you can still buy. So that's nice. I actually got this at Walmart. So I would buy it again. These were very reasonably priced. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel boring. Like it feels like I'm having a fun beverage. So that is very nice. moving on to the scent. The name of this, not so fitting for the vibe, but I think the scent is good. So it's Boy Smells Red Hot. Okay, so it says it is a fruity, spicy scent that is red hot. Olfactory families is fruity, spicy. Red Hot opens with a spicy black pepper and smoldering incense, heats up with juicy raspberry and rose absolute, and surrenders into smoky papyrus and cedarwood, boldly sweet and spicy. Spray it when you want your space and your mood to go full main character. So it's not subtle Powermove, it's just Powermove. The scent notes, top is black pepper and incense. The mid notes are raspberry and rose absolute. And the base notes are smoked papyrus and cedarwood. So, now let's see what I know I like this scent. So, on initial smell, you smell the I think it was like charred papyrus or smoked papyrus. You smell that like incense, burned kind of scent going on. And then also the raspberry. It is very like raspberry. And then as you kind of step away, the incense is there. The raspberry has kind of left and you get that undertone of rose. I really seem to be having like a rose moment right now. I'm liking rose scents a lot. And I never used to like raspberry, but I have smelled several things recently that were very raspberry. So it's interesting because you have that rose and raspberry, that kind of like fruity, floral, feminine thing that then is like incense fire. So it's like it's more than grounded. Like it is like I don't know, a kind of like fiery strength that is there with the femininity and lightness of the fruit. So it seems to be kind of a contradictory scent, which I like. I think smelling it away from my nose, I notice the rose and raspberry much more. But when I hold my wrist up to my nose is when I smell that like burnt incense, smoked papyrus thing going on. And so if I wave it like this, it's nice because I get both of those smells. I like that the fiery burnt scent is more skin native. I mean, in terms of like, I smell it when I hold it very close to my nose, but when it's away, I don't notice it as much. Whereas I do notice the, I guess, more traditionally feminine notes. So other people are probably going to smell that fruity rose smells, whereas I also smell the powerful fire smell. So it's more of like an internal motivation than an external announcement. That's my take on it. So the red hot is not about being, I don't know, sexy or attractive. It's more about being powerful and burning. So, set the vibe. Stated our intentions. Now, it's time to actually apply the makeup. I don't know that I have my barrette down here, so I'm going to use a headband. It is a magical headband. It has rainbow, sort of, clouds and rain, but it will hold my hair back the whole face. Because this is a day to night look, I am going to use a true traditional foundation. And I want to feel secure in my look, so I'm going to use the Prada. Because when I need something to be reliable and look good for a long period of time, Prada is the way to go. All right. I'm just using this brush. I really like it for foundation. I bought that foundation that, drop something, that was like the customizable foundation, which they didn't get my color right. Decipher, that's it. Yeah, Decipher. And but they gave me this brush, and I really like the brush. Didn't like foundation. All right. Now I'm going to do a little bit of concealer to make it through the whole day. And I'm using the MAC Studio Radiance 24-hour Luminous Lift Concealer in shade NC10. Oh, and the Prada was LN5, I think. Yep, LN5 is Prada. So NC10 of the MAC. This is where I have some redness and the under eyes, because they always need it. And then I've started using, and I saw this on a TikTok woman's page, some of the e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow in the lightest shade, which I think is like 00. I put it there so that it helps the concealer, like it gives some glow. It helps the concealer from looking too flat or matte. Okay, I think we've got a good base down. I am going to use some contour, and I'm going to use my the Sacheau one, Sacheau in I think it's like giving Sass 01. I really like this. I thought it was a gimmick, but it works great. I think that's blended in pretty well. All right. So I started doing this blush combo. I say combo because it's got multiple steps that I am really liking right now. So I start with the Westman Atelier contour in Toast, and I use it as a bronzer in that I kind of put it in the high part of where I would put blush, which is kind of where I would put bronzer, but higher than the contour, but just kind of as a, actually, I'm just going to draw it right on. So that's the cream part of this blush combo. After I do all of the rest of my creams, I will come back and do the powder part of this blush look. Still building my base. So I'm going to use one of the MAC Multisculpt Matte in Stone on my eyes as kind of like an eye base. Since I got these, I think I use them every day, either alone or like I am today as the base for my the rest of my eye look. Because they last so well and they don't crease, they make every other eye product kind of work the way you would hope that it would and last all day. And they're just so easy. It's easy. There you go, all done. And that won't come off until I wash it off. I did not bring loose powder down, so I'm going to use my Make Soft Diffusion or Diffusion Set powder thing. And I think I'm going to move on to eyes. Got that first layer down, and then I wanted to add Smokey Mauve in the Extra Dimension eyeshadows from MAC. It is this real pretty purple lilac or lavender color. And then once I get this on, I'll see what, if anything, else I need to do. I really like these extra dimensional shadows because they are reflective, they're shiny, which always makes me feel more, I don't know, pretty. But it's not individual glitter, so I think it's still okay for like a professional setting. It doesn't look like something like you're wearing an evening look to work. I do think I am going to add just a little bit of a darker color in the crease to have just a little bit of definition. So I'm going into my MAC Unfiltered Nudes palette, and I'm going to use the darkest shade, which I think is called Give Me Cyberspace. Yeah. So here's the palette, and it's this one right here. Give Me Cyberspace. I'm just going to do just a little. I don't want a lot, but the contour and the stone palette helped with the definition, but I could always use a little bit more with my hooded eyelids. Having kind of pulls that hood back a little bit and doesn't make it come forward as much. The illusion of depth. And then I'm going to do an inner corner with the Ilia Eye Stylus in Opulent. I bought this and then made fun of it, and now I use it all the time. I didn't really know if there was a purpose to an inner corner highlight, and then the light happened to catch it when I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, that's why people do that. And maybe just a little bit up here as well. Not too much. So for my brows, I'm gonna do a combo of the MAC brow liner, Volux brow liner in brunette. It's just a pencil. And then I'm gonna put the Merit, I think this was 1990, I don't know, 1980, probably 1980 brow in light brown over the top of it, because the pencil gives me It makes it look like there's a little bit more brow there than there is. And then the Merit works kind of like a mascara and helps lay down so they stay kind of where I want them to be. So the combo gives me what I'm looking for. And I'll let that dry and then I will comb through it. There we go. The Hourglass 1.5 millimeter is tiny, 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 tiny. And it's in black or obsidian. And I'm just going to use that right in my like waterline, lash line, just to kind of give me like a thicker lash. And then I'm going to use another color that maybe you could like see the color a little bit. So there's the black. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Rockstar, which is a purple, kind of on top of that. To make it a little less harsh. And the purple helps my eyes look even greener. Okay, and then I need a tubing mascara to know that I am not going to have any kind of raccoon eyes during the day. So I am using the Maybelline Sky Tubes. This is the first drugstore tubing mascara that I have ever felt is truly a tubing mascara. It lasts all day, it doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't bleed, and at the end of the day, when you wash it off with warm water, it comes off in tubes. It's surprising how many mascaras that they say are tubing mascaras that do not actually come off in tubes. So to me, they are not tubing mascaras. All right, so now it looks kind of like I've got very dramatic eyes and not a whole lot going on the cheek area. So I need to perk that up a little bit so that my eyes don't look quite as dramatic as they currently do. I am going to use the Pat McGrath Blush Without Caution in Flirtatious. So I love this blush. It's hard panning on me a little bit. I need to use some Scotch tape, but it is a beige. But depending on what I'm wearing, it will look mauvey on my skin. And I think with these other purple tones, it will bring out, I think it's going to look mauvey. We'll see. There we go. We've got Toast down, and then Flirtatious. And there is one more step of this blush combo, but we're going to wait a minute for the redness to kind of go down a little bit, and then I will do that part. Liner, lip liner, I am going to use my Makeup Forever Light, Wherever Walnut Light. This does wear really well for a non-staining liner. And I find that the stains, they last all day, but they don't do what I need a lip liner to do in putting that border in that kind of prevents feathering of the lip product that you put over the top of it. The stain doesn't do that because it doesn't have any like waxiness in it to like prevent the feathering. And now that I am 50, I've got little fine lines around my mouth, and sometimes those like suck up the color and make my lips look kind of messy. So if I use a good lip liner, a traditional lip liner that's got some wax in it, it prevents that from happening. So that's really what I'm using this for. Also, I love this color because it's basically my lip color, but slightly cooler. So it provides a little bit of shadow. I can overline just a smudge, and it doesn't really look like overlining. Maybe I'm delusional, but that's my theory. Doesn't necessarily look like I have lip liner on, but it does that thing that will prevent the lipstick from spreading out. All right, then lipstick wise, I think, I am not sure. I've got a couple of options. So I bought another one of the MAC Powder Kiss lipsticks because I love them in Be My Bridesmaid. And it is so pretty. It is a cool beigey pink. Really like it. It does not go orange on me. It is, because it's cool enough, it actually is a light pink without being white pink. And then I also have the Ritual de Vie did a lab access release recently where it's almost final product. They're getting feedback from their users to put the final touches on the product. So it's not in final packaging, but it's close to being final. And then they're going to tweak it some and then put it out in its final version using the feedback from people. And if you're one of the people that buys the product, because you do have to buy it, the lab release, it is a little less expensive than the final product would be, because it's not as cute as it would be, and it's not a final product. You provide feedback, and then you get basically points that you can use as a discount in buying the final product. And I got two of the colors, but one of them is Water Violet, which is a mauve pink tone. And so this is Water Violet, and this is Be My Bridesmaid. And so I think I'm probably going to put a gloss on it. So I think I don't want to use the Powder Kiss one. I think I'm going to use the Ritual de Vie Feather Light. No, it's light as a feather in Water Lily. And that is a pretty like mauve color or purple leaning dusty pink. But I want it to be a little deeper. So we're going to try something, and this, I don't know if it's going to work. I got the Experiment Software Lip Balm in the colors, and one of them is a black gloss. It's called Void. And so it deepens other colors. It's got some dark pigments in it. See, I think you can see it there. And it will just deepen something else. And it's very nourishing to the lips. So since I'm going to be kind of out all day, I think I need to have something that keeps my lips from getting dry and cracky. So it just deepens that water lily color a little bit more. Kind of desaturates it a little bit and makes it a little bit less purple and more like muted mauve-y. I really like that. And then final touch, I'm going to use just a little bit of my new Gucci blush in Silky Rose. It's a like bright pink, just on the apples of my cheeks to kind of give that punch, and then it gives more definition to the face. Kind of like doing something similar to what a highlighter would do, in that it makes, I don't know, it brings that part of my face forward without being shiny or glittery. Kind of a more youthful look in having just that touch of bright pink there. I really like how that works out. And then finishing spray. And I've got the Danessa Meyer's Yummy Skin, my favorite one. If I need my makeup to last all day and look good, this is what I use. I have tried others, not many, but it's not that I like setting spray, it's that I like this setting spray. So
strong, dressed to go. Traffic jam, but I won't stop. Got a dream, can't let go. Cubicle walls, clock ticks fast. Email ping, busy call. Filing papers, days won't last. On this grind,
now I am ready to go to work. This was fun. I miss doing vibes, so I'm glad to be back. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. I was doing vibe videos every week, and then I kind of hit a rut and stopped for a little bit, but felt the desire to get back into it today, so maybe they will be resuming. There are others to look at if you like this video. If you find me entertaining but don't really like vibes, I've got other videos for you. And then I also have some short content. So I'm looking to grow this community, trying to figure out exactly where my niche is. So if you have feedback, let me know, and I will definitely consider it. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I look forward to getting to know you better. But for today, I'm gonna go kick some butt.